I'll just stay out here until you've dealt with our little friend, just as a precaution. Yes, this certainly looks like the galvanic engine that I'm going to fix now. Right now. Here I go. And this goes here, and then, of course, this goes over here, and if I just put this here, it's fixed? It's fixed! Yes! My plan worked. The Clockwork Apostles will have to accept me now. Can't believe we were actually able to do it. The halls of regulation are up and running again. Our repairs won't hold forever, but I should be able to maintain function in the meanwhile. I don't think it's too much to say that I'm truly a genius. Oh, there's absolutely no need to concern yourself about that. I assure you, all that matters is that the Brass Fortress will have water tonight because of us. Am I right? Here, you've been such a great help. You should be properly rewarded. Isn't there some other adventure you should be off to? Oh, Tilly, why did you have to open your stupid mouth? Look, I was honest about the halls of regulation needing repair, and every danger I outlined was of immediate concern. However, I may have embellished my connections with the Apostles. Well, I suppose that I had a connection at all. When I arrived in Clockwork, I was immediately drawn to the Apostles. I knew they could help me strengthen not only my magic, but also my technical skills, which are already quite impressive. Exactly so. It seems dark elf blood runs a little deeper here than they'd like to admit. I was an outsider, and compared to many here, my magic is still weak at best. I'm sure my round ears also didn't help make an impression, but I was determined. I found the schematics in a public depository and decided to research the mechanics in order to build upon my technical proficiency, perhaps even make some improvements. I thought it might give me the edge I needed to join the Apostles. I really am sorry about that. I panicked when you showed up and thought you might inform the Apostles. I wanted at least a chance to make repairs. And it all worked out in the end. Clockwork City still has water, and I have my edge. Positive. I have a far better understanding of the mechanics now, and within a few weeks, I'll have a permanent repair. That's when I'll report my success to the Apostles. Thank you for helping me accomplish this. It truly means the world to me. idling.
This year, he'll select me for sure. I can feel the gears rotating in my direction. Welcome, friend. Come, join our celebration on this glorious and special day. Today is the day that Lector Naril declares a new apprentice. I've improved my botanical knowledge and skills considerably since the selection day last year. I hope he sees how much I can help him in his work. The Everwound Wellspring, a wondrous oasis in this mechanical desert. Sotha Seal created the place, but the Lector made plants grow in the metallic soil. Once every year, he distributes food and chooses an apprentice. You should come with me and see. In the past, the wellspring was accessible to everyone. Lector Naril sealed the place and started the tradition of...
I hope Lector Naril selects Sherazar as his new apprentice. She's been working so hard to get him to notice her.
I shall name my new apprentice Sherazar.
And there's a hopeful for the wellspring. May the gears rotate in your favor, especially if you've got a gold piece to spare. The Everwound Wellspring, the only place in all of Clockwork City where actual plants grow and blossom. It's a miracle, thank Sotha Seal, or Lord Set, or whatever the crazy dark elf calls himself these days. I hear the carrots are as tall as trees. Only that it appears some people don't know how to show appreciation when presented with useful information.
Drink up. It's harvest day. You know, the day when they harvest the apprentice and select the best plants from the apostles. Or is it the other way around?
factotums will continue to gather the harvest and bring the containers here. In the meantime, use the lift and come see our Oasis. I always share a few words of advice with the hopefuls that weren't selected before I take the new apprentice under my wing. The Everwound Wellspring provides excellent opportunities for the novice apostles. You must be one of the new arrivals I've heard so much about. Everything in the Clockwork City, the soil, the flora, the fauna, it's all composed of gears and pistons and metal. It's like that everywhere. Everywhere, that is, except here. Because Sotha Seal set the wellspring in this metallic desert and blessed it with a reservoir of water. An exceedingly rare thing in the Clockwork City. He planned to create an oasis, but moved on to other projects before the task was done. We had water and a pressing need. It didn't take me long to figure out how to make actual living plants grow in this artificial soil. Now, save your questions and let me show you some of the wonders of the Everwound Wellspring. Come, everyone! Follow me into the viewing garden. My friends, the Wellspring enjoyed a bountiful harvest. Let me show you how we accomplish our miracles. Simulated sunlight allows our trees to produce fruit sweeter than the orchards of Vardenfell. These pipes carry an alchemical solution that nourishes our plants. Factotums harvest the plants and pack them in special containers to keep them fresh before we distribute them to Clockwork City. We take clippings from the most robust plants to produce stronger varieties. Someday, we'll be able to grow plants outside these walls. Every season, we share our bounty and select a new apprentice from among the novice apostles. By the way, where did my new apprentice wander off to? My new apprentice, Sherazar. Where did she disappear to? Oh, she's off to a bad start. A very bad start. And have two novices wandering around the Oasis unsupervised? Very well. Go find Sherazar and return to me with all due haste. Quickly now, the work of the Wellspring can't wait for an idle apprentice. That's a complicated subject, and one better left to the actual apprentices. Suffice it to say that the process involves water treated with alchemical nutrients and other solutions, as well as our simulated sunlight. That would require an even more complicated answer. Suffice it to say that we use lenses, crystals, and a unique power source to create life-giving light similar to Nern's sun. But without the apprentices, none of this would be possible. My program provides an opportunity to work outside the Clockwork Basilica, lets them try their hand at something different. Besides, keeping the Wellspring going requires a lot of bodies. You'd be surprised at what's required to make my plants grow.
This was supposed to be a special day, but it turned out all wrong. There's something not right with this Oasis. Sometimes a gear slips or a cylinder throws a piston. This place reminds me of that. Specifically, I saw my old friend Shirhari down one of the corridors. When I tried to go talk to her, the factotums blocked my path. They drove me off. That's the question, isn't it? And it's the reason I have a bad feeling all of a sudden. Why restrict where an apprentice can go? And why refuse to let me talk to Shirhari? It makes no sense. No, I'd rather speak to Shirhari. I know her. I trust her. Lector Naril? He's still a stranger to me. Will you help me get past the factotum so I can talk to my old friend?
Sherizar! Oh, this one purrs at the sight of you.
It's so good to see you too, Shirhari.
You shouldn't wander the wellspring unsupervised. It's dangerous. The factotums don't respond well to visitors they haven't been formulated to recognize. And the fabricants, they're just mean. A new apprentice? Really? But what does Shirhari know of such things? This one works in the dark and grows fungi, molds, and mosses. The lector keeps me too busy for other concerns. Shirhari doubts there's anything sinister going on, so the seal blessed the wellspring with water, and Lector Naril's alchemical solutions make it possible to grow plants. It's good to see Sherizar, though. We could use the help. Apprentice? Sherizar is the first new apprentice to enter the wellspring in years. The Lector stopped selecting apprentices after poor Gathal's accident. At least, that's how this one understands things. I suppose Idrono might know differently. Idrono works with Shihari. He attempts to grow non-fungal plant life in harsh conditions. Since you're going to speak to him, could you bring along some of my mushrooms? But not the poisonous ones. He hates those. Idrono will be grateful for the fungi samples, even if he seems agitated. He gets that way during the harvest. Make sure to bring him safe ones, though. My notes can help you identify the various types we grow. This one only knows what Lector Naril told her. He said that Gathal injured himself while performing an experiment. He never recovered. It was a tragedy. Idrono pays much more attention to gossip, so perhaps he can tell you more. Idrono will be great. No, only the Lector can do such things. But perhaps this one has the next best thing. My plaque of safe passage. As long as you carry it, the factotums should leave you alone. Take it. It won't stop fabricants, however, so be wary of those beasts. Shirhari will be fine. There is much to do right here, and the factotums are formulated to recognize me. The plaque is a precaution, for the most part. This one will get another one before the next work cycle begins.
Increasing auditory function by 20%. Piston check. Awareness rating stabilized. Audio anomalies detected. Documenting.
New apprentice, if you can hear my voice, step to the nearest speaking tube this instant. This is Lecter Naril talking to you through this speaking tube. I assume that you and Sherazar have been exploring the wellspring. We've built something impressive here, don't you think? Other apprentices? Oh, you mean Sherazar's predecessors? The ones selected during the past few harvests. About them, well, they've been dealing with a very special experiment. Utterly secret, you understand? Certainly. Just as soon as you report to me. I must complete Sherazar's orientation and training. Some parts of the wellspring can be extremely dangerous. I'll expect you back in the viewing garden before 3 gears click into place.
A new apprentice? How curious. And are those samples of Shirahari's mushrooms? Excellent. I've been anxious to taste the new harvest. Texture similar to guar hide. Flavor equivalent to wet moss. Not what I hoped for. Interesting question. As far as I know, no new apprentices have entered the wellspring since Garthel's accident. But I have a bigger concern. At least Shirahari can grow mushrooms. My plants refuse to live no matter what I do. Of course, Lecter Naril tasked each of us with a different experiment. I'm attempting to grow plants without the benefit of the simulated sunlight. I haven't had any success so far, but someone has to tackle the difficult experiments, I suppose. Lecter Naril developed it using techniques he still refuses to share. The simulated sunlight provides nourishing energy that makes most of the plants we grow thrive. Not my plants, mind you. Oh, no, that would ruin the experiment. Otowen's been with Lecter Naril the longest. She might know something more. You'll need to cross my garden to reach her. Just watch out for the blasted fabricants. They keep eating my plants and clogging up the gears. I just don't understand why my plants won't grow while Shihari and Otowen have no trouble making things bloom. It's an absolute annoyance. And so are those fabricants. Feel free to smash them to bits on your way through the garden. What's to tell? Gathal died. Happened in Lectinarul's private workshop. We're not allowed in there anymore. Now let me think. I need to figure out how to make my plants do something. Anything other than wither and die.